Thank you very much. Okay, our last speaker, Moinul Hassan. No, I'll come to Shamrat later on. Polash, why I'm coming to you? Because you are basically academician. Okay, so okay, we have tourists, so many tourists, but we don't have proper service as so regarding the skill management, everything. What do you think? I mean, is it a big challenge for tourism industry, Cox's Bazar, that we don't have a proper manpower, skill management? What do you think?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tawfiq Rahman. Good evening to everyone. To the answering that question, I would like to say something that smile is the language of tourism, I believe. So, before ever everything else, we have to smile more and more. How many times we can smile, the more guests we have. So, now I come to the answer to that particular question. If tourism is a hardware, tourism education is the software of that hardware. So, what tourism education does? Tourism education creates tourism leaders, tourism servicemen, tourism planners, tourism personals. We discussed lots of things about tourism planning, tourism potentiality, tourism zone, tourism facilities, and blah blah blah. But we are not giving emphasis to tourism education in our country. Whenever a plan is made for the betterment of the tourism in Bangladesh, tourism education is slightly neglected. I can say that. For that reason, tourism education is not so developed as we expected, not so flourished as we expected. And that's the reason, sorry, that's the reason we had a lack of lots of tourism personnel, skilled person. That's the reason. Now I come to the answer. What should we do? We have to declare tourism education is the mainstream education right now, before everything else. And Cox's Bazar City College, which started tourism education since 2015, we have already completed one BBA, our first BBA batch, which is already engaged in tourism sector in Cox's Bazar. Some are professionals in various sectors, some are executives in some renowned hotels, and they are doing their best and giving the feedback to the industry with satisfaction. Whatever I say, we need proper guideline, we need proper encouragement to come to the education. The common students should feel interest to be a tourism professionals, to have a BBA or MBA degree, so that they can lead the tourism industry. And if they can lead the tourism industry, I think within 10 or 20 years, our tourism phenomena will be changed, our image of the country will be changed in tourism sector. More professional can change the tourism faces. Lastly, I can say you have the distinguished guests from abroad. They have visited various places. They have some praises. They have some complaints. I have already learned about it. But the identity of Cox's Bazar is Cox's Bazar Marine Drive Road. I request you, all of the visitors, that next time you must visit the Marine Drive. And the man behind the name of the Cox's Bazar is Captain Hiram Cox, who was the British captain, and according to his name, Cox's Bazar is this Cox's Bazar city. So he has a bungalow at Ramu, which is 18 kilometers away from Cox's Bazar city. Next time, I hope you all should visit the place, the man who established the Cox's Bazar city. Thank you very much. Have a good time.
Thank you very much. Now I'll come to the our last speaker, Shamrat Sannal, who is the General Secretary for HHTTN, Himalayan Hospitality and Tourism Development Network. Shamrat, you are the last speaker, so you combine everything and what you see, because you are our immediate neighbor, Shiliguri, that how we can actually target more Indian tourists, more people from Siliguri, as well as how we can target our friend Nepal.
Institutions. And there's so much more to say, but I have to let others speak also. But as I said, be proud. Your people have fascinated us. We are so happy. Your people, your friendliness, your food, everything has fascinated us. My only advice to you, there are two advices I have. One was to the government. Day before yesterday, I was given the mic and I mentioned right there in front of the Minister of Tourism that was the day we arrived. We spent 3 hours at the airport just trying to figure out how to get our visa smoothly done. And I requested, please, I know everybody had that same voice. We requested Minister of Tourism to please, the DIG of Tourism Police was right there. Said, please have a desk, tourist police desk on arrival at the airport. I think you can do that here also, in Dhaka also, all over, even in Nepal, India, Nepal, everywhere. Yes. So this is something you have to, of course, have that in your mind. And of course, cross-border tourism, we are here for that. Now, when it comes to international tourism, my second number two is the highway is beautiful, but when we get down from the highway in the middle of the road, the toilet facilities are some good, most of them were not good. So for men, it's no problem. For ladies, it was a massive problem. And so it was a long drive. It was a 12-hour drive. So, and the other thing is, of course, please do not feel offended if I tell you this from the bottom of my heart. Please, there has to be a learning session, a teaching session to the people who serve tea on the highway, roadside. They keep it very dirty. So forgive me if I spoke my heart out. But I'm sure you all agree with me. Do you all agree with me? It is dirty. I'm sorry to say that, but it is dirty. Plastics everywhere. It has to be clean. Please. Nepal went